Well, hello, everyone. It's so nice to be here this evening, and it is an honor to be sharing the platform with my esteemed colleagues. I have not taught for several years, so I'm very grateful that Dean Schmidt was able to cover the presentation to give you a showcase about how the courses are offered in our program. I'm Margaret Ioannides, the Assistant Dean for the Online LLM program at University of Dayton. I know several of you joined after the start, so I'll just give a brief introduction. I'm a licensed attorney myself. I practiced immigration law for years, primarily employment-based and business-based immigration. I then became a law professor focused primarily on teaching legal research and writing. And since 2014, have worked exclusively with online LLM programs oriented to international lawyers. I joined University of Dayton in 2018 with the goal of launching a fully online LLM program. And so we're 5 years out since the launch of the program, and we've been doing quite well. So the focus of my presentation today is going to be on that online LLM program. Dean Schmidt, who you just had the opportunity to hear from, has actually developed the contracts and sales course in our online LLM program. So what he shared with you in terms of the mini class is very similar to what you could expect in the online LLM program course as well. Our program has a 30-credit curriculum. It's offered 100% online in an asynchronous format. So that does make it different than the non-degree program that Dean Schmidt briefly discussed. In addition, ours is offered on a traditional semester-based calendar. So we have courses running from January through May, from May until August, and then from August to December. Our students right now who are actually in the spring semester are taking their final exams. Today is their last day of exams. So we do have partial tuition scholarships available for the online LLM program. As Dean Schmidt mentioned, there is a pathway from the non-degree program to the online LLM as well. So for any of you who can't make a decision between the two and might want to do both, we have that option available. If you complete 26 credits through the non-degree program with a qualifying cumulative grade point average of a 2.7 or higher, then we can accept those credits towards the LLM degree, and then you would have to take 2 additional courses, Introduction to U.S. Law and our Legal Analysis, Research and Writing course. So together, those 2 courses are 4 credits. For that option, there would be no scholarships available. So whether you're considering the non-degree program or the online LLM, I wanted to share a little bit, at least from my perspective, of the types of students who are generally interested in pursuing and gaining this knowledge of U.S. law. Most of our students are not living and working in the USA. They're working around the world, but they are engaging with U.S. law in their day-to-day work. That typically can be because they're working for companies or U.S. law firms that have U.S. legal interests. Many times they're working in areas of contracts, for example, where the governing law for the contract is U.S. law. Other times they're working in areas of intellectual property, law and tech, such as data privacy, international business transactions, or even international alternative dispute resolution. So typically that's the profile for students who are interested in pursuing this advanced law study in U.S. law. We've identified several practice areas. I'll share my slide deck with ILDANSA after today's webinar, and that can be shared with this group, but we've identified key areas in law and tech, IP and healthcare, environmental law, immigration law, international business, international trade, anti-corruption and money laundering compliance, and even international tax law. So if you're working in any of those fields, the knowledge of U.S. law can be quite helpful. In our online LLM program, because it is asynchronous, it's offered year-round, we have students from all over the world who are in the program. I believe over 50 countries are represented in the program right now. In terms of the In terms of the requirements for admission into the online LLM program, students do have to have their law degree completed. So in Korea, that would be completion of your LLB, your Bachelor of Laws, or your JD degree. We do not require a law license, so as long as you've completed that first degree in law, you would be eligible for consideration for the LLB. In addition, English proficiency is required. So that would be either a TOEFL or IELTS, a score of an 80 on the TOEFL or 6.5 on the IELTS. Or we also consider a waiver of the TOEFL or IELTS if an applicant provides alternate proof of English proficiency as well. So the online program can be completed in anywhere from 1 to 3 years. In terms of our curriculum, we have a bar-focused 30-credit curriculum. It's made up of 12 courses. 2 of them are skills-based, the Introduction to U.S. Law course and our Legal Research and Writing course. The other 10 are individual bar-tested subjects. So we have, in addition, we have professional responsibility in the curriculum. The other courses are business associations, evidence, real property, torts, trusts and estates, civil procedure, constitutional law, criminal law and procedure, and contracts and sales. In terms of the assessments in the online LLM program, they are primarily the grade is primarily based on a midterm exam and a final exam. Together, those two make up 70 to 75% of the final grade. The balance is completed through assignments and quizzes that are completed within each unit. Students have targets that need to be completed approximately every 3 weeks, but within that 3-week period, students have a lot of flexibility in terms of when they complete each of their individual assignments. At the end of the program, students will receive a Master of Laws, an LLM, in American and Transnational Law. The diploma is the same as the diploma for those students who are completing the LLM degree on campus. And in terms of our semesters, our next semester will begin August 26th. The application deadline for that is July 26th. And the priority deadline, and this is important for anyone interested in obtaining a scholarship, is June 28th. So for any of you who might be interested in starting the program, the next semester would be in August with that priority deadline of June 28th. I will enter a couple of links into the chat so you can see that. And again, I'll share my slide deck after today's presentation. So we really look forward to welcoming you, whether it's to the non-degree program, the LLM program, or both. We would love to see you there. And I think we might have some of our, at least 1 or 2 of our students in today's webinar as well. So I wanted to thank them for taking the time to join. 감사합니다. So thank you again for this opportunity.